Let's get into the build. Today, I'll be showcasing my Mastersmith PvE build. Just a quick note before we start. This is the build that works for me, but it may or may not work for you. We all have different stats, equipment, and progression, so don't be afraid to experiment with your own account. These are my current stats without any buffs. Now, let's move on to the skill build. You can pause the video here if you need more time to check the details. Here's my manual and auto skill setup. Again, feel free to pause the video if you want to copy the setup. Now, let's check out my card setup. For headwear, to cramp cards are still the best option for me as of now. For mouthwear, I'm currently using to Doppelganger Puppet 2 cards. If you don't have those, you can use Baby Pacifier instead. For the weapon, my preferred setup is one size card and to race cards. You can adjust these depending on which MVP or boss monster you're fighting. For the cloak, I'm using to Baphomet Jr. cards for the additional agility and critical hit. For the accessories, you have several options. You can use Cobalt, Mantis, Swift Mantis, or Injustice. If you have a 2-slotted accessory, you can also use Albaran Illusion. For costume, Baphomet Puppet is currently the only available card you can use. For facewear, I'm using Goblin Leader Puppet. I'm also using this setup for PvP. If you're focusing specifically on MVP hunting, you can switch to Edga Puppet 2 when fighting large-sized MVP, or Moonlight Flower when fighting small-sized MVP. For armor, I'm using Picky for the extra STR, but honestly, you can use whatever you currently have available. For shoes, I'm using one Moonlight Flower MVP card and one Sahi card. For my other accessory, I'm using a 3-star Stem Worm card. And finally, for backwear, you can choose between Drake or GTB Puppet, depending on which type of damage reduction you're lacking. Now, let's move on to the Divine Armament. For the weapon, I'm using Power Cutting Axe 2. And for my armor set, I'm using Silver Glory. Now, let's talk about the enchants. Just a quick note, I'm only using what I currently have available. For headwear, I'm using Superior Physical Attack. For facewear, mouthwear, and armor, you can either use PvE Technique or 3 luck stats. Test both options and see which one works better for your build. For the weapon, I'm using Superior Crit. Try to get to physical attack percentage as a substat to maximize your damage. You can also use Melee Boon if your crit is already high enough. For the cloak, I'm using Vitality Boost for additional survivability. If you have it available, you can also use 3 luck stats. For boots, I'm using to luck enchants, but again, use whatever is available to you. I'm also using Superior Crit on both of my accessories. And for both costumes and backwear, I'm using Superior Physical Attack. Now, for the feathers. I'm currently running for orange and 1 purple for my attack feathers. For my defense feathers, I'm using 3 orange and a purple. If you want to copy my setup, just pause the video. For Astra Core, I'm focusing on Lumir and Sagitta to maximize my physical attack. For the defense Astra Core, You can simply balance your stats based on what your build needs. For pets, use Squidit and Dr. Owl. For medals, you can max medal of bravery and heroism. For my mount traits, I'm still working on balancing everything because we also need to become more tanky. If you're focusing more on damage, you can prioritize brave and charisma. For equipment barding, I'm also trying to balance everything. I initially got them all to 49 before starting to upgrade each one individually. And don't skip your Freya runs every week so you don't fall behind on this progression. And that's it for my character build. Let's do some damage test using the training ground. Here's the damage test with only self buffs. With self buffs, we are hitting more than 16 M per second. Here's the damage test with priest buffs, Lex and Gypsy's Lady Luck. With the help of priest and Gypsy, we are hitting more than 55 M per second. Insane damage. And that's it for my Mastersmith PvE build. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like and share it with your friends. And once again, this build works for me, but it's definitely not perfect. If you have any suggestions or different ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. It might help other players as well. Which job build should I do next?